not. They are. There's some. I have a matrix analysis of the area of 46 property owners across 10 acres, going from Harvey down to ISD and coming in from A1A to Grandview. There's 43 property owners in that area. On that back side of my property, I have 80% of the block that's in the offering before you guys. There are 5 properties on that back side on Coates. The property at the top of the street, at the corner of Coates and Kemp, that's actually owned by the owner of the Streamline. So it actually does, if the Streamline comes on board, you wind up picking up that top right-hand corner of the whole block. And then there's a series of parcels that are all fee simply owned right down the lot. One of which I think you guys got sent over a link after the Chiefs fine work. They busted a guy that's been dealing stolen property out of our garage over there. Ted's been a nightmare in my neighborhood since I got over there and been assembling. But I did hear a reference by the city manager earlier about some of that stuff on Coates. It's marginal, to say the best. I mean, you have issues in there, and so. But I do believe what happens is, with the fact that you'd be acquiring dirt with you're not going to get dirt this cheap again in the redevelopment area. Those ones on Coates, in fact, you're going to probably wind up paying more per square foot, because what's going to happen is, if you eventually buy something from you, they're going to stick you with the cap rate analysis on the revenue stream. And for instance, you've got a 7-unit building on Coates. It sits on less than 3,000 square feet of dirt. Okay, it's a 3,000 square foot. It's a 0-lot line apartment building that's like stucco over glass, and somehow or another they've got 7 units in there. And I just wonder every day, like, how the thing continues to stand. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. So I think the rate of assembly down that street is going to be pretty smooth. And I think the fact that you guys are the 800-pound gorilla works in your favor. And then I closed the whole thing out by saying, in tough times, people fail. In tough times, there's a reshuffling of the deck. And right now, we're in some tough financial times. There is no better time for the city to become stronger with a strategic acquisition like this. That the day after you buy it, you can sell it if you want to. But if you don't, you hold it in inventory for a week or a year or 2 years or whatever it is until you get that Streamline deal. I know the Streamline's anxious to do a deal. They probably want to do a deal as much as I want to do. They just have much more aggressive numbers for what they want over there. And they're entitled to have that if they would like to. But you guys will have the dirt that if anybody wants to buy the Streamline and do anything with it, they're going to need your dirt.
Okay, so what I'm hearing, Reed, we're waiting on an appraisal, which would be in approximately 2 weeks. And at that time, we'll have a better path to travel here going forward with something to present to the commissioners.
Yes.
Okay, is there any other questions for anyone?
I don't have a question. I just want to say I'm excited about this. I think it's a great opportunity. As I said last time, Louisiana Purchase keeps coming into my mind. And the fact that that for years people have been talking about what has the CRA money done, what has the CRA, moan and groan and complain, and here's an opportunity to really jump on something and say this is what it's done.
Mr. Nolan, what were you going to do with the property? I have a reason for asking, because I'm impressed with you, and I can't imagine you failing at anything.
Thank you.
You seem like you had it put together.
Can I tell you the story? It's rather fascinating. I had been over in Orlando with a wonderful professional career over 12 years. I had left the EDC and was forming a private equity venture capital company, and was pushing real hard on that. And I remember 9/11 occurred, and I was down in a gentleman's home down in Palm Beach 2 weeks after 9/11, and he said, he goes, I wish I could support you. And this is the founder of the New York Stock Exchange traded company. He goes, I want to do it, but he goes, the world has changed. He goes, Jerry, he goes, it isn't happening right now. And I remember driving back from that meeting going, you know what, it's real estate, it's dirt. I'm going to go back to Daytona Beach where I'd gone to high school, look around. I had served on the Main Street Redevelopment Committee in 88 or 87 on the Chambers thing, about the time they were building the Marriott, and had gotten involved in understanding. I went looking for the cheapest dirt I could find on the beach side, and my first corner acquisition over there was from a gentleman who lived in New York, did not speak English, had not seen the property in 8 years, who immediately put me in touch with his agent to get the thing sold, which was, and I love telling people this, it was Nick George. So like Nick George, okay, it's like Nick's tenant it's like weird, his tentacles go out everywhere. And we closed, and I bought the property. I gave him $1,000 down. He let me finance it for a year. We had a crystal meth house next door, we had this next door. I mean, it's just been and then we slowly leveraged that equity into acquisitions and assemblies. And there were times when I had an island out parcel that I had everything around that if I didn't get it, it wasn't going to work. And the idea was to get this in such a manner that exactly with what's going on with the RFP, I've been pointing everybody to this. The RFP just south of the Ocean Center is the model for the RFP that can take place in my neighborhood. And I believe that it is some sort of condo mixed-use development folded into the streamline and the nostalgia of that on the southern end of the redevelopment area. And I believe in it. I believe in this town. I believe that a lot of stuff is happening over there. And it's just that my horizon's just, you know, I'm running out of runway. So
It's gonna get better for you.
Oh, yeah, all right, good deal.
Mayor,
Please.
Please.
I'd just like to ask Reed, do you have any feel about what the Main Street Redevelopment Agency feels about this? Since it's their funds, right, that we're talking about, isn't it?
It hasn't come, this particular project has not come before them yet. We'll certainly be bringing it up in discussion the next time we meet, just to let them know. Okay.
Reed, just to clarify, we're talking about obligating 90% of the available funds in that redevelopment area to this one project.
Of the existing, but we're rolling into a new year and we'll have more money again. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, guys. We've got some that was pulled from consent agenda.